Hi and welcome to my video. My name is Lena Perez. I'm a psychologist and systemic therapist. And as I did in the previous videos, I will bring a novel from the Asian literature, and I will take one of the figures in the book, and I will ask the question if this person were a real person and decided to get a counseling, what will be the questions that the person will bring, and how a session could continue. For today, I decided to make a comment on the book The Thorn Puller from the Japanese writer Hiromi Itō. Hiromi Itō is very well known in Japan. She had published poetry, and also she had written different books like novels, but also books for children and others about education and life in general. In Thorn Puller, it refers to God in the Buddhist tradition, and this is they are called Jiso, and there are a lot of statues everywhere in Japan. And this Jiso, they take care of you when you have some sort of worries or when you are sick, and they also take care of dead children and make a journey with them till these children reach the place that they should go in the end. What I like it in this novel is that there is like a kind of dance between the parts in the narrative form and the poetry. And when you read them, it's very difficult to say when a part finish and the other begins. So it means that poetry and narrative are like intertwined in the same chapters, and you find it in the whole book, which is very nice. At the end of each chapter, the author writes down the references from other poetry and authors in Japan. So, if you are curious about getting to know more about this form of poetry, it's very easy to find and follow. In this book, there are a lot of parallels between the author, Hiromi Ito, and the main character in the novel, which is has the same name, has the author, and there are parts that people living, let's say, in bicultural relationships, they can identify themselves very well with it. One of the parts is when the main character decides that her third daughter getting the first language was more English than Japan, and she decided to go with her to Japan and spend with there a couple of months. And the girl could go to school and learn the language. Hiromi Ito, the author, has a woman in real life, have two grown-up daughters, and she takes them, the two daughters, with her to US in the 90s. There she met an English artist. He was like almost 30 years older than she. And then they decide to formalize a relationship, and that was when the third daughter was born. In other parts of the book, we see that how challenging it is to have a relationship when you have a partner, someone that is older than you. Um, in this case, like almost 30 years, and how they both make compromises and decide to stay together. The part that I will pick up from this novel to make it like if it were a therapy session is the part with where the couple have a huge conflict. They had a fight, and in this fight, it is about the language, the differences that they have. Even if she has been living for more than 10 years in US, she writes that for her the most important part was to fight very well with her husband in the English language, but still he was very picky with the language and was always pointing the way when she didn't pronounce so well, or when she couldn't express herself the way that she wanted, or the way that it were in the mother tongue. And that reminds me a lot the fights sometimes that I have with my husband when we have this kind of conflicts in Spanish and in German. The magic part from this fight is that after they had the conflict, she had to go to Japan because she was like many years making this traveling between California and Japan during many times a year. She was taking care of her parents, and after this fight, she was thinking if she wanted to get the divorce or not. So when she went to Japan, she went to the temple of the Jiso, the Thorn Puller, and wanted to pray. And on the way to the temple, a rider went with her. And in this magic moment, this rider took the figure of the Jiso. They had this conversation, as it were, I will say, a therapy session. And he said, okay, you can tell me whatever you want. And she said what was this fight about, and she was thinking about going back to California or not. This Jisoo gave her like some tips what to do in the relationship. And one of the tips that Jisoo gave her was that she shouldn't take for granted many things that they had together. Another thing was that how they could talk, or how she could tell him how important he is for her, and gave him also some space in the things that were important for her. I guess that worked because when she went back to, so first she decided to go back to California and then continue in the relationship. He died. During the novel, we come to many parts where she complains about him, about this man that is doing this, he's doing that, he doesn't understand so many things. He makes fun of part of the cultural background that she brings, or other parts. She had the feeling that he really doesn't understand them very well. We also see that they are connected by a very deep feeling. They love each other, and that's something that stays with them during the whole relationship. If you are in a relationship with different cultural backgrounds, or if you and your partner have an age differences, I would like that you write in this email how you find compromises and all the things that you do in order to keep the relationship alive. That was all for today, and see you in my next video about Asian literature. Bye.